Hello everyone, welcome to my very first video. Over here I'm kind of going to explain behind the scenes of the game that me and a couple of friends of mine are making. So a little background is that me and my coworkers, we were like, screw it, we want to make a game. And the first engine we decided to start on is Roblox Studio, just to see if people would like the game overall. Now the whole point of this game is not to make money off of it, but to really just test our skills and see how good we can do. So a little inspiration about the game is that the design is very inspired off of Half-Life. I'll explain what Half-Life is in future videos, but the game engine that it uses has some very old textures, if you could really observe over here, that are used in the game, and I really like that look. And my coworkers kind of agreed and they wanted to see what they wanted to do with it and see how far we could take this. So over here, you just basically look at different textures. Luckily for us, we didn't have to import it. And this whole entire model set is basically just all the Half-Life textures. If you really just look up here, Half-Life. Oh my gosh, my spelling is so bad. Um, this guy is credited for doing that. It's really cool that he imported all the textures and stuff. We're thinking about importing our own, but we'll see how it goes. But if you can't tell, this is all very dingy and stuff. And over here, I'm the main builder so far, and I'm kind of making this makeshift type of lab. So this whole game is kind of like an AI takeover style, and the whole point, I'm not going to spoil it, is that humans are trying to win back the technology that they lost. The main villain is kind of like a mother computer, and she is basically the result of all of human creation when it comes to AI. And I'm not going to explain how it gets corrupted, but you'll see over time. I don't want to spoil it. That's the whole point of the game. But I can talk about this little lab I made so far. So the lab doesn't have too much lore yet, but I have been doing some world building. Um, Over here, this first part is very inspired off of the Half-Life style. I'll show you what a Half-Life lab looks like, but it's very dingy, old, very spacious. There's still some components that need to be made, but the whole point is that the technology is pretty dated and old and very crusty and dirty, except for these tubes. The tubes, they're made from a very special metal. Now, the whole lore of the game, we're thinking about making a wiki page that has yet to come, but the whole point is that this lab is really used to run experiments. Now, what experiments? Again, let's surprise on for later videos and as lore develops. But let's keep on moving on. Over here is kind of like the infirmary. It's a very makeshift, very dirty, dingy one. It's very abhorrent conditions, but that's the point. Technology is sparse, people are scraping by. They're not really prioritizing medical health, they're prioritizing winning back technology. So they're putting their workers through hell just to get their technology that they want so bad back. Over here, this is just a model I made, just size comparison. I don't know if I'm going to do anything specific with this title, but we'll see. So over here is just some very old dated technology. This is kind of here to mimic a generator. And over here are just some really old computers. These are just some shelves that will be stocked with medicine and stuff. And over here is the primary urgent care, as you could tell. Over here is kind of like a TV, and these are the components for it. This is just a drawer, nothing special. And this is just some more Half-Life textures. So over here is kind of like the front of the building, like the entrance. You could tell by the doors, it'll eventually open up pretty cool. It'll go something like this, very slow, and I'll show you an animation of it. But over here is kind of where players can bargain with NPCs for components in order to upgrade technology and get closer to the ultimate goal, which is taking back the other computer from its own sentience. I'll explain the lore in another video. Over here, I'll show you how this NPC kind of works in a bit, but this is the cafeteria. This is a nutrient paste dispenser, and the idea is that like it'll like dispense this nasty food that is nutritious still, but it's nasty and the workers don't like it. We still got animated stuff on it, and it'll come over time. But it's just a mini generator, some pipes for like steam to release, and some random wired components in order to make sure that it works fine. This on off button, pretty simple. And then this is like the chairs, like social area. As you can tell, this is like a chess table right here. Now, like walking through this hallway, it's supposed to be like really old structural beams that are like barely intact. As you can tell, like a lot of them have been falling apart. This is a really old lab. But over here is kind of like the barracks. And this isn't the barracks for our scientists or like the main characters that you guys would play, but rather a barracks for like some, let's say, experiments. Now, I'm not going to go into what exactly, but we'll see. Just some more components in order to properly operate things. Like, there will be a lot of mechanics in the game where you have to maintain the lab, otherwise, like, your mission will be halted. So you gotta really, really pay attention, be critical about what parts are you using for what purpose. If you use it for the wrong purpose, then you will have to prolong the mission longer. Over here is kind of like a little bathroom stall. It's very inhumane, and that's the point. Over here is just extra storage. I mean, there's nothing special about this room yet. Can't say what specifically it's going to be used for, but over time we'll figure it out. Now I wanted to show you some gameplay regarding maybe this gate and then this NPC. So we'll start with the gate first. Now, I'm not the main coder here. I'll show you who it is, but I'm the main modeler. But over here is kind of like the gate, and the idea is that it's supposed to open up. Which, oh, you saw that? It's very smooth. Look at that. So now I'll show you our first NPC that my friend made. It's very interesting. Yeah, nothing's anchored. I get it. But look at that. Look at him. It's a little pathfinding AI. And obviously there will be animation. Huh. Can't talk to him. He used to have a GUI, but I don't know what the heck happened. Well, anyway, more will be released about this game as we develop it over time, and we do have a few more people joining our team. However, this is like the makeshift lab, and we still don't have a game title. But be on the lookout. I think it'll be a fun game, and I think once you understand the mechanics and the plot, which will be eventually explained, I think you'll enjoy it. Anyway, thank you for watching my video. Oh, by the way, this is our collaborative team right now. Give them a shout out. Anyway, see ya.